Learn English easily with Pro English.
Welcome back to the Speak English podcast. Today, we are going to perform emergency surgery on a grammar mistake that affects almost every single student I have ever met. It is the confusion between two tiny, simple verbs, say and tell. You might think you know the difference, but I guarantee that if I listened to your conversations for 5 minutes, I would hear you say something like, "I said him to go," or "he told that he was tired." These mistakes are what we call fossilized errors. They stick in your brain because, in your native language, there is probably only one verb for both actions. Today, we are going to break that fossil and give you the secret logic, golden rule, that will fix this forever.
You are describing my life again. Decir. In Spanish, we just have decir. Whether I digo a secret to you or I digo hello, it is the same verb. So when I speak English, I just guess. Sometimes I flip a coin. I said him, I told him, I said to him. It all sounds kind of correct to me, but I know it sounds wrong to you. I recently sent an email to a client saying, "Please say me the price," and my boss corrected it to "Please tell me the price." I felt so stupid. Why is say me wrong? It seems logical. I want you to say the price. To me.
Please say me the price. That is a classic example. The reason it sounds wrong and, honestly, it sounds painful to a native ear is because of the direction of the verb. Here is the golden rule you must memorize. Tell touches a person. Say touches a word. Imagine tell has an arrow that must hit a human target immediately. You cannot just tell. You must tell someone. You tell me, you tell him, you tell her, you tell us. If there is no person immediately after the verb, you cannot use tell. On the other hand, say focuses on the message itself. You say something. You say words. You do not say a person.
Okay, I like that visual. Tell touches a person. So in my email, please say me the price. I was trying to touch me, a person with the verb say. And that is illegal. I should have used tell because me is right there. Please tell me. That makes sense. But wait, can I never use say with a person? What if I want to report what someone said to a specific person? Can I say he said to me? Because I feel like I have heard that construction before. He said to me that he was hungry. Is that correct, or am I imagining things?
You are absolutely correct, and this is where it gets tricky. You can use say with a person, Bhutan, this is a huge, but you must use the preposition too. You cannot say me. You must say to me. This is the structural difference. Tell takes a direct object person, tell me. Say requires a bridge to reach the person, say to me. However, native speakers rarely use say to me in casual conversation because it sounds a bit formal or dramatic. We prefer tell me, compare these two. He told me no, fast, natural. He said to me no, clunky, weird. If you have a person, 99 of the time, just use tell.
That is a huge relief. If you have a person, just use tell. That is a rule I can follow, so tell me, tell him, tell her. No, too. I think that is another mistake I make. I mix them up and say, tell to me. I think I do that because I am translating Dima M, so I say tell to me. But you are saying that is double wrong. Tell already includes the direction, right? It's like tell eats the two. So tell to me is like saying go to the park. It's redundant.
Exactly. Tell to me is the most common error I hear. Tell includes the preposition in its DNA. Never put to after tell, ever. So let's recap the three possibilities. Correct. He told me. Best option. Correct. He said to me. Grammatically okay, but rare. Incorrect. He said me. Illegal. Incorrect. He told to me. Illegal. If you just delete options 3 and 4 from your brain, you are halfway to fluency. Now let's look at the other side of the coin. What if there is no person? What if I just want to report information but the listener isn't important?
Right, like if I am just reporting news. The weatherman said it will rain. I am not mentioning who he spoke to everyone. So can I use tell here? The weatherman told it will rain. No, that sounds wrong because of the touch rule. There is no person to touch, so I assume I must use say in this case. He said it will rain. She said she is busy. They said the meeting is cancelled. Is that the rule? No person equals must you say.
You nailed it. If the recipient of the information is not mentioned, you must use say. You cannot tell that it is raining. You have to tell someone that it is raining. If you drop the someone, you must switch the verb to say. He said that he was hungry. Correct. He told that he was hungry. Incorrect. This is why say is used for quotes and general announcements. When you read a book, it says, "I love you," he said. It doesn't use told because the focus is on the words, not the listener.
This is becoming very clear. It's like a binary switch. Is there a person? Yes, tell, no, say. But Michael, English is never this simple. There are always exceptions. I feel like I have heard phrases like tell the truth or tell a lie or tell a story. In those phrases, there is no person. I can say he always tells the truth. I didn't say he tells me the truth. I just said he tells the truth. Why does tell work here without a human target? Is the truth a person?
Ah, the famous collocation exceptions. You are right. There is a small group of nouns that always go with tell, even if there is no person. These are usually related to categories of information. We say, tell the truth, tell a lie, tell a story, tell a joke, tell a secret, tell the future, tell the time. Think of these as fixed idioms. You never say a joke or say a lie. You tell them because you are narrating a full event or category. So the rule is, tell plus person or tell plus story, lie, truth, joke, time. Those are the only times you can drop the person.
Okay, that is a manageable list. Truth, lie, story, joke, secret, time. It makes sense because these are all forms of narration. You are transferring a packet of information. But what about say? Are there fixed phrases for say? I know say hello and say goodbye. We don't tell hello. What else? Say yes, say no. Can I say a prayer? Or say a speech? I feel like say is for short utterances and tell is for longer stories. Is that a good way to think about it?
That is a brilliant psychological trick. Yes, say is often for short, specific utterances or exact words. Say hello, say goodbye, say please, say thank you, say sorry, say a prayer, say yes, no. You are uttering these words. Tell is for longer, more complex information transfer, instructions, stories, news. You wouldn't tell hello because hello isn't a story or a fact, it's a greeting. You wouldn't say a story because a story is too long to just be uttered. It needs to be told to an audience.
Uttering versus transferring. I like that distinction. Okay, I have a question about pronunciation. This drives me crazy. The past tense of say is said. I know the spelling is SAID. But I hear students and myself pronouncing it like paid, Said. He said to me. But then I hear native speakers and it sounds like the color red. He est. Is Said wrong, or is it just a different accent? Because paid is pronounced paidy, so why isn't said pronounced Sadie?
This is one of the biggest pronunciation traps in English. You must never ever say Said. It is pronounced SED, rhymes with red, bed, head. The AI vowel changes completely in the past tense. Present, I say, I sound. Past, I said a sound. And be careful with the third person singular too, he says. It is not he says, it is says. Rhymes with fez. So I say I, he says, he said est. If you fix this, you will sound 50 more fluent immediately.
Wow, says and est. I have definitely been saying Sazy and Sadie my whole life. It makes sense why I sound robotic. He Sadie to me. It takes so long to say. He est is so fast. Okay, let's talk about commands and orders. This is where I get confused in reported speech. If my mom tells me clean your room, how do I report that? Do I say mom said to clean my room, or mom told me to clean my room? Both sound kind of okay.
This is where tell shines. We use tell plus person plus to plus infinitive for orders and instructions. Mom told me to clean my room. The boss told him to finish the report. The doctor told her to stop smoking. This structure is the gold standard for commands. You can technically use say, she said to clean my room, but it sounds weaker and less direct. Tell implies authority and instruction. If you want to sound strong, use tell. I told you to stop implies I gave you an order. I said to stop implies I just made a noise.
That is a very useful nuance for business. If I am a manager, I should use tell. I told the team to launch on Friday. It sounds like I am in charge. If I say I said to the team to launch, it sounds like a suggestion they might ignore. Okay, what about indirect speech versus direct quotes? Sometimes I want to quote exactly what someone said. He said, I am hungry. Can I use tell there? He told, I am hungry. Or he told me, I am hungry.
Generally, we use say for direct quotes the exact words in quotation marks. He said, I love you. If you use tell, you usually switch to indirect speech using that. He told me that he loved me. You can say he told me, I love you, but it is less common in writing. In literature and journalism, said is the king of quotes. No comment, said the president. We almost never see no comment, told the president. Because remember, tell needs a person, and headlines usually skip the person to save space.
Said is the king of quotes. Got it. I will stick to said when I am quoting someone's exact words. Now I want to throw a curveball. What about the verbs speak and talk? How do they fit into this family? Sometimes I want to say he spoke me or he talked me. I know those are wrong, but I don't know why. They seem like synonyms for say and tell. Do they follow the same rules?
Speak and talk are the introverts of the family. Say and tell focus on the message, the content. Speak and talk focus on the action of producing sound. You can talk for hours without saying anything important. The structural rule for them is you must use to with a person. He spoke to me. He talked to me. Never he spoke me. And they usually don't take a direct object message. You don't talk a sentence. You talk about something. So, he told me the news versus he talked about the news.
You can talk for hours without saying anything. That is the story of some meetings I have been in. Okay, so say, focus on words. Say something, tell, focus on information transfer. Tell someone, talk, speak, focus on the activity. Talk to someone about something. That helps separate them. But what about the phrase, tell me about it? I hear Americans use this all the time, but they use it ironically. Like, oh, the traffic is terrible. Yeah, tell me about it. Are they actually asking for information, or does it mean something else?
That is a great idiom. Tell me about it is a sarcastic way of saying I already know or I agree completely because I have experienced it too. It does not mean please educate me. It means I know your pain. If you say my boss is crazy and I say tell me about it, I mean I know he is crazy with me too. It is a bonding phrase. But notice the structure. Tell me about it. It follows the golden rule perfectly. Tell plus person me plus about topic it.
I love that. It's a grammar-perfect idiom. Okay, Michael, I think I am ready to be tested. I feel confident about the tell plus person rule, the say plus to plus person exception, and the collocations like tell the truth. But I know that when I speak fast, I might slip up. Can we do a quick lightning round quiz before the break? You give me a sentence with a blank, and I have to choose say or tell.
Let's do it. Lightning round. Don't think, just react. Did you goodbye to him? She me that she was leaving. Don't a lie. He to me that he was tired. Can you the difference between them?
Okay, pressure is on. Did you say goodbye to him? Fixed phrase, say goodbye. She told me that she was leaving. Person me is touched. Don't tell a lie. Collocation category. He said to me that he was tired. Because of the word to, can you tell the difference? Collocation I forgot to mention, but it feels right.
Perfect score. Yes, tell the difference is another key collocation. It means to distinguish. You tell twins apart or tell the difference between wine and juice. You don't say the difference. You have graduated from part 1 with honors. But don't get too comfortable. In part 2, we are going to look at the advanced stuff. We will look at passive voice, I was told versus it was said. And we will analyze some famous movie quotes to see why they break the rules.
Passive voice, my nightmare. I was said. I was told. That sounds confusing already. I definitely need part 2. Let's take a break and come back for the advanced level. Fin de la parte 1. Preciso a generar la parte 2. Turnos 31 a 60. TEMA. Say versus tell part 2. Passive voice advanced idioms DURACIN PARTE 2. 15 minutos aprox.
Welcome back to part 2. We have mastered the basics, tell me and say to me. Now we are entering the danger zone, passive voice. This is where 90 of students crash and burn. In your native language, you can probably say, I was said to go. It sounds logical. Someone said it, so I was said. But in English, this sentence is a grammatical crime. If you say, I was said, native speakers will look at you with total confusion. They might think you mean I was sad, an emotion, or they will just not understand who is speaking. Why? Because of the object rule we learned in part 1.
This is exactly what I struggle with. I was said. It feels so right in my head because I am translating directly from see me dijo or me didron. I want to express that I received an instruction. So if I was said is illegal, what is the alternative? Do I have to use tell? I was told. That sounds a bit aggressive, like I was scolded. Is I was told the standard way to say someone gave me information? Or does it only mean someone gave me an order? I feel like told carries a heavy weight.
I was told is the standard, neutral, and correct form. It is not aggressive, it is factual. Because tell takes a person object tell me, when you flip it to passive, the person becomes the subject I was told. Since say does not take a person object you can't say me, you cannot flip it to I was said. It is mechanically impossible, so if you want to say someone informed me, you must say I was told. I was told the meeting is canceled. I was told to wait here. It is the only option for a personal subject.
Okay, I was told is the only option if I am the subject. But what if the message is the subject? Can I say the news was said? Or it was said that? I feel like I see it was said in formal writing or maybe in the Bible. And it was said. It sounds very poetic and ancient. Is that structure still used in modern business English, or will I sound like a priest if I use it in an email? It was said that we need to cut costs.
You have a great ear for register. Yes, it was said, or it is said is a valid structure, but it is an impersonal passive. It means people generally say or rumor has it. We use it for general wisdom or gossip, not for specific instructions. It is said that this company is going bankrupt. People say this, but you wouldn't use it for a direct message. You wouldn't say it was said to me by John. That is clunky. You would just say John told me. So keep it is said for rumors, proverbs, and legends.
Rumors and legends. Got it. So I was told to work late, fact instruction. It is said that hard work pays off, proverb general idea. That distinction helps a lot. Now I want to ask about phrasal verbs. Tell seems to have some aggressive cousins. I heard a mother screaming at her child in the supermarket, and she said, "Don't make me tell you off." What does tell off mean? It sounds like turn off, but you can't turn off a child, unfortunately.
Tell off is a fantastic phrasal verb. It means to scold, to reprimand, or to speak angrily to someone because they did something wrong. If you are late for work, your boss might tell you off. Note the structure. It is separable. He told me off. You can't use say here. You can't say someone off. Another one is tell on someone. This is childish but used by adults too. It means to report someone's bad behavior to authority. Don't tell on me means don't snitch, or don't report me to the boss.
Tell on me? That sounds very playground. Mom, he hit me. Don't tell on me. But I can see how that applies to office politics too. I'm going to tell on you to HR. It sounds petty. Okay, what about say? Does say have phrasal verbs? I can think of speak up or talk down. But does say have any particles? Or is say just a lonely verb that refuses to mix with prepositions, except to?
Say is indeed a bit of a loner. It doesn't really form phrasal verbs like say up or say off. It prefers idioms. For example, say the word. This means just give me the signal and I will do it. If you want to leave, just say the word, or goes without saying. It goes without saying that you must be on time. This means it is obvious. We don't say it goes without telling. We rely on say for these fixed expressions of logic and agreement.
It goes without saying. I use that one. It's very useful in essays. Okay, I want to analyze a movie quote because pop culture confuses me. In the movie The Godfather, he says, "I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse." Okay, no say or tell there. But what about phrases like tell it to the judge or say hello to my little friend? In Scarface, Al Pacino screams say hello. Why doesn't he scream tell hello? Is it because hello is a short utterance like we discussed?
Exactly. Al Pacino is validating our rule. Hello is a greeting, a word, not a story, so he must use say. Say hello to my little friend. If he shouted tell hello, the movie would be a comedy, not a drama. It would sound ridiculous. And tell it to the judge implies tell your story or your excuse to the judge. The it represents the story excuse. Since it is a story, we use tell. Pop culture is actually the best grammar textbook because if a line becomes famous, it is usually because it sounds rhythmically perfect.
That makes sense. Tell it to the judge. The it is the lie I am trying to tell the police. Okay, what about the phrase I can't say? Sometimes I ask someone, is the project finished? And they reply, I can't say. Do they mean I don't know or I am not allowed to tell you? Or is it just a polite way of being difficult? It feels ambiguous.
I can't say is a strategic phrase. It usually means I don't know for sure or I am not certain. It is softer than I don't know. Example, will it rain tomorrow? I can't say. Meaning I am unsure. However, be careful. If you say I can't say much or I can't say anything, that implies secrecy. I am not allowed to speak. But the simple phrase I couldn't say is often just a polite I have no idea. Contrast this with I can't tell. I can't tell means I cannot distinguish perceive. Is that a dog or a cat? I can't tell. I can't see the difference.
Oh, that is a massive difference. I can't say equals I don't know the answer, I'm unsure. I can't tell equals I can't see hear the difference. I have definitely mixed those up. I stared at a blurry photo once and said, I can't say what it is. People probably understood, but I can't tell would have been much more precise. It's about perception versus knowledge.
Precision is what takes you from B2 to C1. Now, let's talk about reported questions. This is a nightmare for word order but also for the verb choice. If I ask you, where are you going? And you report it to a friend, do you say, he asked where I was going? Or can you use say tell? He said where was I going? He told where I was going. I feel like students try to force say into questions and it creates a mess.
Oh yes, I hear he said me where I was going all the time, but that sounds wrong because say doesn't take me. So maybe he said to me where I was going. But that sounds like he is stating a fact, not asking a question. If it's a question, shouldn't we just use ask? Why do we try to force say tell into questions? Is he told me where I was going actually a question, or is it an instruction?
He told me where I was going is not a question. It is a statement. It means he gave you directions. He told me where to go. If you want to report a question, you must use ask. He asked me where I was going. Never use say or tell to report a question unless it is an instruction disguised as a question. Students love say, so they try to use it everywhere. He said if I was hungry. No. He asked if I was hungry. Delete say from reported questions completely.
Delete say from reported questions. Done, that simplifies things. Okay, Michael, we have about 5 minutes left. I want to talk about nuance and tone. Sometimes say feels more distant and tell feels more intimate. If I say, he said he loved me versus, he told me he loved me, the second one feels warmer, stronger. Is that just my imagination, or does tell carry more emotional weight because of the direct object connection?
It is not your imagination. It is the touch rule again. Because tell touches the person, he told me. It emphasizes the connection between the speaker and the listener. It feels like a shared moment. He said he loved me focuses on the words. It feels like a quote. Maybe he said it to the room or he said it quietly to himself. But he told me implies eye contact and intention. So for emotional secrets, confessions, and promises, always choose tell. It bridges the gap between two people.
That is beautiful. Grammar has emotions. Tell is the verb of connection. Say is the verb of recording. I will remember that. Okay, final challenge, texting and emails. In the digital age, we write things, we don't speak them. But we still use say tell. Her email says, or her text told me, Is it correct to use say for written text? The sign says stop. The sign cannot speak. The book says, is this technically correct?
Yes, in English, inanimate objects can say things if they have words on them. The sign says stop. My watch says 10 p.m. The email says yes. This is perfectly correct standard English. You can also use tell if the object gives you information. The graph tells us that sales are down. The clock tells the time. But generally, for simple text, we prefer say. What does the text say? Not what does the text tell, unless you mean what is the deeper meaning. Then you might ask, what does this evidence tell us?
What does the text say? That is the phrase I needed. I used to ask what puts the text. Translating from Capone, what does the text say is so much more natural. Okay, Michael, this has been a marathon. We covered the golden rule, tell plus person, the say plus to exception, the passive voice, I was told, the idioms tell off, say the word, and even the emotional weight of connection. I feel like I finally understand why I was making mistakes, not just that I was making them.
That is the goal of the deep dive. Understanding the logic, the direction of the verb liberates you from memorizing infinite lists. Remember, tell shoots an arrow at a person. Say holds up a sign with a message. If you keep that image in your head, you will be right 99 of the time. For the other one idioms, well, that just takes practice.
Tell shoots an arrow, say holds a sign. Visuals always help me. Thank you so much for this clarity. I am going to go tell my friends about this episode, and I will say that it was amazing. Did I get that right?
You got it 100 right. Tell my friends person touched. Say that it was amazing, message focused. You are a master. Thank you everyone for listening. Go out there and tell the truth, say your prayers, and never tell a lie. See you in the next episode.
Bye everyone, speak to you soon. Fin del episodiocomplito. Turnos 1 a 60 completados. Duración total 30 minutos.